Hello and welcome back to the Book Nook. Today we are going to be multitasking. We are going to be having coffee time. hmm And we're also going to be talking about a book. I do realize that this week I have not done a coffee time video. And part of that is because I started my associate's degree in business management Wednesday, and I do everything online, but I'm having to go through college algebra. Okay. I wasn't good at high school algebra, so I don't know why they feel like I'd be good at college algebra. I spent most of my day yesterday working on assignments between calls at work. And by the end of the day, my anxiety was up, my chest was tight. I just was blah. Today's going a little bit better because I have learned that I have to go old school and put it on pen and paper. Whatever, though. So, because I have been so busy with school, because obviously school is a priority, um, I haven't done a coffee time with you guys. So that's what we're gonna do here for a few minutes. Coffee timing. Mm. I'm trying. I'm trying a new flavor of my favorite brand of coffee. My favorite brand's Gavalia. But let's see about this one. It's a little bitter. It's a little bitter. Okay, it's better. It's better. You gotta get past the original bitter flavor. I don't know. Whatever. So it's fall, guys. It's officially fall. We are one weekend, like one full week into September. I'm waiting for us to have to put a sweater on. Now, God knows that's not going to happen in Texas anytime soon, but I'm waiting on it. So today we are going to be discussing a book by Colleen Hoover. It's called November 9. Sorry. November 9. And it is so good. So good. Now, I'm not one for romance. Like, ugh, I can't focus on it. It's not that it's not good, and it's not that the author that I read in particular isn't good. I'm just not a fan. But every now and then you need a break from true crime or murder mystery, psycho thrillers. Sometimes your head just needs a break. So that's where some of the other books that I show you guys come into play. A lot of the Colleen Hoover books are have a romantic twist. Um, Sorry, squirrels are catching my attention out there. A lot of Kristen Hanna's have some type of. I wouldn't say that all of hers have a romantic twist, but they're very. It's a very different genre than what I typically read. But sometimes your mind just needs a break from that stuff. So I have read, this is the second book I've read by Colleen Hoover, and it's really, the storyline is so cute. Now, there's a typo in here. I found it after my sister had already read this book, and I texted her about it, and she said, "What are you talking about?" So I screenshotted the page. She goes, "Oh, wow." Yeah, so there's a typo in here, and it bugs the life out of me. Bugs the life out of me. It's just, they swapped out one name for another. So if you read it and you find it, come back and tell me where it's at on here. So, sorry, my dogs are barking. It's how they live their life, just singing the song of their people. But this is little synopsis about a girl named Fallon and a man named Ben. I say girl, she's grown. So she used to be a model. Fallon used to be a model, and then she had an accident. And it tells you throughout the book what the accident's about. And she initially meets Ben when he pretends to be her boyfriend, meeting her dad. Um, and it was just very impromptu. It's just in the very beginning. That's what happened. So their friendship, I can't call it a relationship, but their friendship really kind of grows, and they make this pact with each other. And they agree to see each other no matter where they live, no matter who they've been with. They agree to see each other. I think it's every year on November 9. So it's a really sweet book. It's a quick read. There's not a lot of depth into it, which is fine. Which is fine. Not every book you read has to have you mind boggled, and not every book you read has to just be mentally draining. Can y'all see that? It's my ring light on my blue light reflection. But no, a lot of people, when they think of books and when they're reading, they think that if it's something that's lighthearted and easy to read, like say Janet Ivanovich, then they're like, that's not a good book. No, it sometimes the storylines are very, very good, but okay, so you read it in a day. Not a big deal. Pick up another book. I just can't. If I'm gonna get invested in a book like It by Stephen King or The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, those are the two thickest books that come to my mind right this second. The Nightingale. The first couple of times I read it took me like 2 days, but I was also in prison and I did not have anything else to do. I went to work, I came back after my 4 or 5 hours of work, the rest of the day was mine. And I would rather sit in my cell and read than go out and socialize with some of the people that I was incarcerated with. No, like I read that while I was in prison. It was my first year. But that one took me longer, and it's one of those that if you're gonna read it, you gotta be into it. Um, I lived in a 26-man dorm where you didn't have like cubicles where you could get some sort of privacy. Like you had a bunk bed in the middle of all the other bunk beds. So reading something that in depth was very difficult. Now, did I finish it? Yes. Did it take me 2 months? Yes. But at the same time, I also read 4 other books while I was reading that. I typically don't like to mix books, but with me, with that particular book, I could only mentally take so much of it before I was like, I can't do this anymore. And it wasn't because it was bad, it's just a lot of words to read. And Stephen King, he's very wordy. He's got great books though. Great books. But we're not here to talk about him yet. But no, this is a fantastic book. And the whole time that Ben and Fallon are keeping up with this agreement, this pact that they've made, he's actively trying to write a novel, but he doesn't read romance. She reads romance. So he's trying to write a romance. So he kind of has to take some tips from her on the TBR list and what he should be reading to get where he's going. And she's also trying to build her confidence because, like I said, she had an accident, which maimed half of her. She's trying to build her confidence to go back into modeling. So that's where we're at with that book. I mean, it's really good. Like I said, I'm not a huge romance person. Like I'll occasionally read like a Western romance. But I don't know if any of you guys ever really have paid attention. If you've ever read a Western romance, it's sex. It's like soft erotica. I mean, maybe that's the only reason every now and then I'll read Western romance or something, because it is. It's all cowboys and sex. which I mean, sometimes you got to live vicariously through a book, so. So there are a few books that I'm actually going to review. I've got it in my head that I'm going to, but they're on my Kindle. So I will have a title for you and who they're by, but when I do those reviews, I won't have, the cover of the book. But what I'll do in the description of the video is I'll make sure to put the name and the name of the author and the title. That way that you don't have to scan back through the video to find out what book I'm talking about. So it'll just be easier. I wanted to do it, one of my favorite books that I wanted to do a while back, but I was like, well, I don't have the cover because it's on my Kindle. Now, technically, I'm not going to lie to you. I purchased the book, the real book, and then I let my sister read it, and then she packed it away in storage. So I'm not going to wait for her to unpack her storage to find my book before I do a book review for you guys. So y'all are just going to have to bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. So we're going to pause, drink a little coffee. I finally had to go through and write down the book reviews that I do for you guys because I forget. The only one I truly remember is The Nightingale because I love that book. But then I'm like, what other book did I do? What other book did I do? So now I write it down. That's how we do that. So, okay, guys. Well, this is going to conclude our book review and coffee time. I appreciate all you guys. Thank everybody for being here. Thank you to the subscribers that I have, the likes, the comments, the views, the shares, everything. I really do appreciate you guys. So check back in next week. Hopefully school will have leveled out a little bit. Especially with this math class. I only have 8 weeks of college algebra. It'll be fine. But check back next week to see for me to do a coffee time with you guys. May do like a coffee time get ready with me. I haven't decided. But we'll see you later. Bye, guys.